to Shannon Confidential. I am Shannon, your host, and Shannon Confidential is a podcast about life, love, and everything in between. And there's a whole bunch of in between right now going on in the world, but the one thing that all comes together is when we eat. And we all are the same. Doesn't matter your age, your sex, your race, how much money you make, married, single, it doesn't matter. We all come together to eat. So today I am excited to bring you a very, very simple but very fun recipe that you can do and included in so many different ways is my fresh apple salsa. So it's actually kind of funny how I stumbled upon this recipe. I ordered a bunch of food to have in the house when the whole pandemic started, and I went and purchased a whole bunch of apples. Well, we couldn't possibly get through all the apples. So I Googled, what do you make with a ton of apples? And besides for the obvious, apple crumb, apple this, apple pie, apple muffins, apple cookies, whatever, the fresh apple salsa stuck out. And I made it, and it became a big hit. I gave it out to some neighbors, and they loved it. And there's so many ways that we used it. We used it as a topping on pizza. I actually put it in a tuna fish for a tuna fish sandwich. Put it in a salad, ate it all by itself. You could put it on, we put on fish tacos. There are so many ways to incorporate fresh apple salsa into your life. So I thought this would be a great time to share it with you. Maybe you could make it when your families are getting together for Thanksgiving, your friends, Friendsgiving, Christmas, whatever it is, or just for your family. It really is super simple. There's just a few ingredients that you need is red peppers, obviously red apples, limes, jalapeno, cilantro, honey, salt, and pepper. And that's pretty much it. And I will go through making it for you so you can enjoy it as well. So the first thing you want to do is peel and dice about 2 cups of apples. So that's about 3/4 pound. So of course I'm not gonna have you watch me peel them. So I have my peeled apples ready to go. I do have them in water with some lemon juice because that does help them from not turning brown while we are dicing away. So one trick I have, whether you're dicing tomatoes or apples or whatever it is, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of the center here. And the best trick for dicing is to actually cut your fruit or your vegetable 2 separate ways. So if we cut down a little bit this way, so you're gonna go down in one direction, being careful not to hit your fingers because I have done that before. Then you turn it and go the opposite direction, not all the way through, because you want to be able to then slice downward. And it's hard for me with these nails, but then if you go down, guess what? Look at, you are diced, automatically diced. So we are gonna do that with approximately 4 apples to make about the 2 cups of apples needed for your fresh apple salsa. Okay, so now that we are on our final stages of dicing our red apples for our fresh apple salsa, the next thing we are going to do is a 1/2 cup of red peppers. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut them, seed them, take out the center lining, dice them up, and throw them right in the bowl with the apples. And this is what's great about it. As you make this, you just slice them all in the bowl together. It doesn't get any easier than that. So, everything that is in this just comes out so fabulous. Okay, so I tell my friends and my family all the time, besides for baking or certain recipes that actually require specifics, there's more science to it, like baking and flour, I tell them, make it your own. If you like more red pepper in your apple salsa, you don't have to do a 1/2 cup. You can always do more, you could do less. But you can absolutely make it your own, and don't be afraid to experiment. I know a lot of people who are not in the kitchen all the time, they feel like that's the recipe, that's what I have to make. No, sometimes they'll say minced, but especially when it comes to garlic, and sometimes I think it tastes better if the garlic is diced. There's all different ways you could expand from a recipe, so don't be afraid to try something new, make it your own, do it your own way, if you don't like red peppers and you prefer green peppers, then put green peppers in. Don't be afraid to adjust what you're making to suit your taste and your family's taste. As Matthew says, street signs are basically up to decision whether or not you follow them. So are recipes. As far as apple salsa type recipes, it's really your own decision how you want to make that, and how much you want of everything in it. So you're going to dice up all of your red peppers and put them in. And believe it or not, it's the red pepper that makes the red in your apple salsa. It's not the red apples, because those are peeled before you make it. So after you get done dicing them up or cutting them in the size that you prefer, and you believe your family is going to prefer, you throw it all into one bowl. This all just begins to marinate together. It's absolutely delicious. You're going to love it. And I'm just going to keep cutting here. The next thing you're going to put in your apple salsa is your lime juice, and it's about 1/3 cup of lime juice. Now, if you're like me, I am very acid friendly. I love acid in everything. So whatever it takes, I can assure you, if you're eating it at my house, I am making a lot more of it because I am just a huge fan. So I'm just going to squeeze my fresh lime juice in and get it all over there and get it just start marinating those peppers and those apples. Oh God, the lime juice smells so good. I swear to God, could lick it. And there's been times where I've actually doubled lemon, lime, ceviche. Oh, off the charts acid, off the charts. So we are going to squeeze all of our lime juice into our apple salsa, and we will be moving on. Now this recipe calls for a 1/4 cup diced red onion. Now a lot of people think red onion raw is a little too much and it should always be cooked. Some people say don't ever put red onion in anything unless it's been cooked. And for the most part, I kind of agree with that. With that said, somehow in this apple recipe, this fresh apple salsa with the lime juice and the peppers and the jalapeno and all of that, somehow it just works. So I would say if you don't particularly like red onion, you could try to make it with something else other than a red onion. Or you could mince it maybe not make it so diced if you don't like those big chunks. Tonight I can tell you I will be putting this on a pizza. So I'm okay with the chunks being a little bit bigger than I would normally do because they will be slightly cooked. But it's really up to you what you choose to do with your red onion. And the next thing we put in is our jalapeno pepper. Now, I'm not doing this very pretty or very ladylike, but that's okay. You guys are all my friends. I don't care. If you want to send me to knife skills, I'd be glad to go. But in any case, always what I should be doing is doing this with gloves, because if you've ever cut a jalapeno before and you de-seed it and you get all that remnants on your hands, and then you just throughout the day you touch your face or you do something and it burns really bad. Yeah, that's the reason for gloves. And we have them here in the kitchen, but you know what? Not me, so I'm not gonna do it. So anyway, again, make it your own. So I'm going to dice up a whole jalapeno, but first you're going to seed it, which I did, and hopefully none of them make it in, because that's the really hard part. And I know you're supposed to tuck your fingers back. With that said, I've got my crazy Halloween nails ready to go, so there will be no tucking back for me. So I am using less than preferred knife skills, but it's working, so I don't mind. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mince up some cilantro. Now, I'm not a big believer in overcutting my cilantro because I love it. I love great big chunks. I just love cilantro. Honestly, I think it could be in everything. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just wrap it all up and chop away, and in it goes. I'm going to kind of just get it all together here a little bit, maybe narrow it down a little bit more. Again, like I said, I'm doing this on pizza, so I'm not trying to make it too fine. Ah, it smells so good. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that right in. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our honey, our salt and pepper, and the onion that I just chopped up. And here we go. Here's our diced red onion and our salt and pepper. And again, I'll make sure you guys all have the ingredients for this. And our pepper. And then our last thing is our honey. Let the slow drizzle go. It's so yummy. And we're gonna mix this all up and serve it however we like, and I will share it with you. So now we have all of our apples, our red peppers, our diced red onion, well, they should call it purple, our cilantro, our lime juice, our salt and pepper, and our honey, and we're going to mix it all up. Now, if you see our little mason jars, our little jars here, I always, if I find, it's just me and Matthew here at the house, so if I find that I have an overabundance of something, or I purposely make an overabundance of something, I try to give it out to my friends because they love it. It makes their lives a little easier. You know, everybody's a little hectic, and you want to help them out a little bit, and if I tell them I'm making fresh apple salsa and I don't give them any, I will lose a few friends, I'm sure. So like any good chef, you will taste it and make sure it's got the right amount of everything before you give it away to your friends. It is fabulous. Wow, that's good. Yeah, this is gonna be a hit again. This is your fresh apple salsa. So now I'm gonna put a few in, because if I don't, Matthew's going to come home and he's going to eat it all, and I'll have nothing left for my friends. So I'm going to get ready and make some for my friends right now. So my jars of fresh apple salsa are made for my family and friends, and I will be bringing it to them later today. And this bowl will be our pizza topping for our fresh apple salsa pizza this evening. I might throw in some, hearts of palm or artichokes. Who knows? Make it your own. But I hope you love it. I hope you enjoy it. Shannon's fresh apple salsa. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.